What in the heck is going on now?
We are going to a local fruit shop and I am so excited to go in.
Eating again. Do you guys ever stop eating?
Not really.
We just filmed an amazing program run by angels like Dr. Maria Jose Hummel, who wrote a book in Spanish about reversing diabetes. The program gets amazing results in just 2 weeks. It's for a community of farm and service workers in California, mostly of Mexican descent, who adopted an American diet and saw their diabetes rates soar. You may have noticed this isn't a Mexican produce stand behind me. I'm recording this in Uganda. Sadly, the problem is universal.
In our traditional villages in Uganda, we majorly eat what we grow. And so in a typical village, there are lower cases of, say, high blood pressure and diabetes. But the more people move in towns, then they change food and then they go on to things like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and other indigenous foods. Then diseases call onto them and then they end up in a different state of health. But if we go back to what we eat in our real villages, everything will be fine.
Okay, so we're getting some mangoes here. These are very ripe. I think these are gonna be perfect. They may look a little spotted, but this is when they get to a really good point.
You ever eat these?
Yeah, these are rambutan. I love these. In fact, maybe we should get a few. When I was in Indonesia, you couldn't hold these in your hand because monkeys would come out of nowhere and rip them out of your hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look at these mangoes. I've never seen them this size.
Wow, cute.
I love it.
Wow, stacks of...
The tiniest little mangoes.
We should get a few of these.
This is quite a produce section they got going here.
And this is my favorite pepper in Mexican cooking. This is called the habanero. I believe it originally comes from Asia, but you see it a lot in the Caribbean. So like in southern Mexico, like the Yucatan Peninsula, this is what they eat a lot of. And I think it has the best bite to it because it heats up slowly. It's so good.
What do we got around every corner and all the...
Beans. So these are canary beans. Sometimes they're called Peruvian beans or mayocoba. And then these are pintos. So when you have refried beans, this is what they come from. These are pinto. I think they're called that because they look like they're painted. Like the little dots, pinto.
Are there many beans in Chinese cooking?
We use a lot of red beans and mung beans and soybeans, of course.
Oh, they got dragon fruit.
Look at all these greens. So some of these are herbs that you cook with, like there's cilantro. I think that's yerba buena, I think, or tarragon maybe.
Oh, okay.
So this is what the prickly pear looks like. There's green ones, there's purple ones. This one's more purple. I got this. This has habas in it, which is a fava bean, garbanzo. There should be peanuts in here too, covered in chili. Papaya. Are you papaya?
Yeah,
should we do some? Okay.
Yeah.
Notice that it has some limon.
Can we get a whole papaya?
Would you prefer that? Yeah, we could do that. How about this one?
Let's get both of them.
Both of them?
You can never have too many papayas.
So this is cactus nopal, is how you say it in Spanish. You cook these down and they turn like a darker green. They're really good. You see them in tacos. This is the fruit of the exact same plant and they're called tuna. You guys remember in Jungle Book where they talk about the prickly pear? That's what this is referring to. These ones look like this on the inside. So some of them are purple on the inside, some of them are green on the inside. In fact, when you see dragon fruit, although these look very different, they're both fruit from a cactus. So when you open them up on the inside, there's a lot of similarities. And this is from a parasitic cactus. It grows on other trees. Do you want to learn how to choose a lime?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are limones. The way that you know a good one is you want them to be juicy. So juicy ones are going to be heavier and they typically seem to be smoother because they're kind of full of juice, so they're kind of bursting at the seams as opposed to being kind of wrinkly. Here, feel how heavy. This one's even heavier, I think.
Really?
Does that one feel heavier?
Yeah.
So that one's going to be juicier.
And apparently you pair the lime with papaya.
Yeah, lime and papaya. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and mango. Pretty much in Mexico, everything's with lime. And I have some tajin in my backpack, so you guys can have it with tajin. Yeah.
I noticed there's a lot of plants everywhere. Lots of fruits and
Plants,
vegetables,
yeah, plants everywhere.
beans.
This is flaxseed. In Spanish, it's called linaza. And then you got chia, clavo, which is clove. And then I asked them what this is because I hadn't seen it. This is a pepper from the mountains of Chihuahua, which is northern Mexico. And I asked, and they said, do you want to try it? And then everybody started laughing. So I knew I'm not going to try this in public. I don't want to cry in front of everyone.
And what are these? Do these make you cry too?
These are habas, or fava beans, but they've been covered in chili and salt and lime, probably. Yep, and these are garbanzo beans, same thing. These are peanuts, so they're covered, you can see they're covered in the shell. So this isn't like a whole food, this is a prepared food. These are plantains. They start out green and they'll be more savory, and then they become sweet. A lot of the dishes where you see things that are like potatoes, you do the same, some similar things. Like you can mash these, you can bake them, you can fry them. Plantains are really versatile.
They bake them at True North for breakfast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I bet
Really
that's good. Yeah. Let's see, we got all of our chili peppers down here. Chiles in Mexico, they'll have a different name when they're fresh versus when they're dried out. That's what can be confusing. You're like, oh, I need this chile, and they're like, oh, well, is it? That's,
What's that noise we're hearing in the background?
oh, they're making juices. We should get a juice. What kind of juice do you guys want?
Wait, is that cactus juice? You go to Nepal?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to try that.
Yeah.
You're brave. Oh, I better try that too. I've never had it.
Yeah, we'll do a verde and a nopal. Should we do one of each and then we can, Are you guys cool? I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
cool.
okay. Queremos uno de cada
vegan,
uno.
we're
Uno
cool.
verde. Big or small? Small?
Big.
Big.
Yeah.
Okay, grandes para todos. Sí, sí, gracias.
Go big or go home.
Flour tortillas are from the north of Mexico where wheat grows better. For example, in the south of Mexico, you don't really see them made out of wheat flour. They're all corn. But in northern Mexico where the wheat flour grows better, you start to see those. In fact, there is a type of tortilla that is so big that it's called a sobaquera. And the reason why it's called a sobaquera is sobaco is the bad smell from your armpits, because they're so big that supposedly when you make it, your armpit gets in. So anyway, those are really uncommon to see, but I think that's kind of where the burrito...
How's it going, Michelle?
It's going fine, thanks for asking.
What do we have here? Gummy bears?
Don't know what this is. Amiga, una pregunta. ¿Qué es esto? Cueritos de puerco? Ah, sí. This is pork lard, pork skins.
Oh, pork.
They're raw, or they're not fully, yeah.
How you doing,
I
Michelle?
kind of had a feeling.
I'm doing just fine, thank you for
Why?
asking.
Did you hear what those are?
Pork lard, yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
What are all these condiments they have?
This is a chili sauce. That's gonna be chili powder and probably salt and maybe some lime in there. Similar to this probably has more salt. This is chamoy. I mean, this is very processed, right? This is just a sugary drink. But this actually comes from, this is an Asian tradition that's been adopted by Mexico and modified.
Well, it's got American tradition in there too, because it's mega, right?
Yeah.
That's right. These are all things that you would put on fruit. So in the US, people don't often think about putting chili powder on fruit, but chili powder, lime, and salt almost always goes on fruit. In fact, you can see lime in each one of these.
Oh, I can't wait to try this later.
These are a type of pumpkin seeds, almonds, and peanuts.
What's going on here?
These are a bunch of things that you cook with. If you've had tamarind or tamarindo, this is what it comes in. It comes in like a bean pod. There's some fleshy stuff on the outside of the seeds, and that's what creates that sour flavor. And then of course you have all the different chiles. Some of these are very spicy and some of them aren't as spicy. This is cinnamon. The reason why you'd have raisins here is raisins are typically used as some like flavoring to foods as opposed to like eating them out of hand. If you're gonna make a mole, for example, some people put raisins in there, and you're gonna find a lot of these spices would be used in a mole. Mole typically has a lot of spices in it.
And they have fritos.
So frito means fried.
Yeah, oh, so, right. Just what we need.
So there's a lot of pickled peppers here. There's some fruit here. Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, those look like loquats.
You're right, those are loquats. Good eye. Those aren't seen very often.
So when I was in earth science, I ran a seismic crew in the south of Texas, right on the border of Mexico. And everybody was from Mexico. They would get cans of XXX jalapenos. We would pop the cans open and we would see who could eat the most of them that night.
Yeah.
And so you'd eat one and pop down the stem and eat another and pop down the stem. And if you could get to 21, you were really macho.
How far did you get?
I almost died after I ate one.
Our juices are probably ready.
This is large.
Yeah.
These are huge. Holy cow.
And there's beans everywhere.
Beans, my favorite. And this is large corn. This is used in soups often.
Oh, yeah.
So that looks like it's like a parsley or maybe cilantro. Sweet potatoes,
Purple yams.
triple yams. I actually don't know what these are. We should ask somebody.
¿Cómo se llama esto y cómo se usa? Guajes, se llama guajes, sí. Y se lo comen así como con frijoles.
¿Con frijoles?
Las semillitas.
Hay que sacar las semillas.
Las semillas, la pura semillita.
Sí.
Y ya se la
Hay que
le echan a los frijoles. No, así crudas también se las
¿Crudas
¿Así
también?
crudas? Nomás se le echan los
Nomás
frijoles.
llegan de aquí, dejaron y se van comiendo todo cuando están comiendo.
Y también se comen solas así. Nomás le abren y se comen la comida.
We should try these. Guaje, guaje.
Yeah,
Guaje.
let's get some.
Yeah, gracias.
Chayote.
Chayote, yeah.
Tell us about that.
You know, I've never really cooked with them. There's, yeah, a couple varieties. There's also one that has a lot of spikes on it, but I've actually never, this isn't something my family cooks with, so I don't know.
Oh, now we're finding out what these are.
Ah, sí. Tomatillos morados.
Dorados.
So it's a purple tomatillo. She said they taste really good. ¿Y cómo se usan?
Yo los cozo, cocidos, y luego hago mis chiles con la de rata, unos muy delgaditos, los doro en el comal, y ya cuando están bien cocidos estos, le hago mis chiles de molajete.
¿Dónde estos chiles?
¿Con estos?
Chiles, ajá.
¿De árbol?
De árbol,
Ajá.
ajá.
Sí.
Asados también.
También.
Un pedacito chiquito de ajo para que le sepan más sabrosos.
Sí, excelente. Gracias.
Oh yeah, you got to tell us what that is.
This is piloncillo, this is sugar. Basically molasses that's been, all the moisture is out of it so it becomes hard and solid. If you're gonna cook with it, you either drop it in something and it melts or you can break it off. Not a lot of sugar is used in traditional cooking.
Jicama.
Jicama, this is totally white on the inside and it's crisp, kind of like an apple texture, but there's no, almost very little flavor to it.
Is it a fruit?
I think it might be considered a vegetable because I think it's more of a bulb, but I'm not sure.
Vegetable?
Yeah, I think.
Do we need the Supreme Court to decide that? They decided on tomatoes, right?
I think it's interesting that sweets weren't really eaten. My grandfather, when he wanted to eat something sweet, at the end of a meal, he would take some honey and put a little bit on the plate and then just take his tortillas and put it in the honey. That was his whole dessert.
You see what's down here?
Oh, Junior Mints. They used to be one of my favorites. And peanut M&Ms. Steve Jobs' admin, Bambi Fernandez, used to have a whole pot of peanut M&Ms, and I couldn't resist them in the day. It's terrible. What's hanging from the roof up there?
Oh, those are piñatas. That's a traditional shape. They're actually a Christmas thing originally, not a birthday. Yeah.
It doesn't look like people are shopping for a lot of this. They're shopping for a lot of produce.
The produce is a highlight here.
And these juices.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're about to find out what the cactus tastes like when we drink it.
Oh yeah, because we got a cactus juice.
¿Cuál de los jugos escogió?
El de todas las, el verde.
Verde. Ah, bien. Espinaca. Saludable, ¿no?
Sí.
Sí. ¿Y por qué escogió este?
Es el que me llama más la atención.
Ah, bien, bien. Excelente. ¿La primera vez que lo prueba?
No, ya aquí he venido a comprar.
Ah, sí, bien. So we just got back from the Mexican store and got a lot of fun little things. We mostly focused on the produce rather than the packaged goods, and thought we would try some foods together.
And the first one is something I don't even really know the name of.
These are called guajes,
Guajes. Okay.
which I have never had either. So you can tell it's a little bean pod. You want to peel it. And we were told you can cook with them, but a lot of people eat them plain. So here you can see all the little beans in the pod.
Whoa.
And they look like little pumpkin seeds, huh?
Do they taste like pumpkin seeds?
You know, in some ways they kind of do.
Uh-huh.
They almost taste like they're kind of like they've been roasted or smoked, but they're not. They're fresh.
Yeah, these taste like roasted pumpkin seeds, roasted pepita seeds almost.
They kind of, yeah, they have
and
some
they look
similarity.
like them.
Those are really good.
Mm.
I could snack on these all day. It would be fun to like roast this or dry them out to see if they kind of like taste like seeds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, recently we were just mowing through this casually. It's very good.
They really are very savory, aren't they?
I think this is my new popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this would be great, right? Sit down to a movie.
Mm-hmm. And just annoy everyone else around us.
So this is called tuna. This is the prickly pear. So the cactus that we saw that was green and a little purplish on the outside, this is what they look like on the inside. These ones are cut in half. Let's see if I can find if they have a full-sized one. Okay, so you can see that it's kind of rounded on this end and then flat cut. That's because it's been cut in half. Anyway, Michelle.
Okay, I'll do the honors.
You like it? The seeds are very hard. Don't feel like you have to bite through the seeds. You can swallow them. Don't worry, they won't grow in your stomach.
This is amazing. It's like a watermelon with more prominent seeds.
I could see that. So dragon fruit is from Mexico, pitaya. We didn't buy any of that, but because it also comes from a cactus, it has a lot of similarities to this.
I really like this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Try it with some lemon on it.
Okay. It almost feels like a pomegranate too, except it's easier to eat. This is good. I'm gonna have to find this the next time I go to a Mexican store.
Yeah. It's nice to have it already peeled for you because you don't have to worry about any finger sticking. Okay, go for it.
Good stuff. Mm.
Have you seen the cactuses and like where they flower out? That's what these fruit are in that same part.
I love papaya, but not with lime.
Yep. You got to try some lime on it.
Okay. I never even thought about this combination before, which is really interesting.
In Mexico, people put lime on every fruit.
Everything. And spice too. Are we gonna add this tahini to it?
We can. I was thinking we'll do it in layers, so maybe we try them on the next one. So I love tahini. I keep this in my backpack. No, yes. And this one specifically is the habanero, which I like. This probably has a good amount of salt in it. I don't use it that often, but anyway, it's one of my favorite things. We'll try it with just the lime.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. That's a really good papaya.
That was excellent papaya.
Good job, Chris. You picked this one out. Now you want to try it with some of this?
Yeah, can never go wrong with more seasoning.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Mm. Mm-hmm. That is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Has like some tanginess with it. Habanero is my favorite pepper because of the way the heat builds. I love that. So this was a mix there. And what I liked about this mix is you get a variety of things. These are garbanzo beans. We have peanuts. This is haba, which is the fava bean. You can see there's half a bean here. And then some peas.
Mm-hmm. That could also be my popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course they're covered in chili powder. It's not like chili powder where it's biting you, but yeah, really good. Okay.
All right, so how do we open up these bad boys?
Oh.
Ooh. Whoa. This looks like a lychee or something.
Yeah, I think they're related.
Do I just pull it out, or I guess I can do this?
Remember, there's a pit in there, so.
Oh, okay. Mmm. No, this definitely seems just like a lychee to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's pretty good. How about yours?
Mm-hmm. So what's special about this mango?
This is called the Ataulfo. It's named after a guy who made this variety in Mexico, and he blended a lot of different trees to get to the properties that he wanted. And this one has like almost no stringiness. It's very sweet. It's not very sour, and I think that it makes for a really good mango.
So it's basically perfect.
That's what they say. So yeah, if you want to try it,
yeah,
I would definitely put some lime on it, and if you want some tahini on it, that is...
It's a necessity at this point.
I like it like that.
So Mexican food is so flavorful. Is that partly because they put lime and tahini and these kind of seasonings on everything?
You know, Mexican food does a really good job at capturing sourness. And you wouldn't necessarily think the sourness is what leads to flavor, but if you think about a like Thanksgiving dinner in the US, there's nothing sour. And so many of the foods, you know, I come from Utah, we have that Mountain West cooking, not a lot of sourness to those foods. And sourness really can brighten up foods. In Mexico, definitely you see a lot of sourness, whether it's the lime, the mango, the tomatoes. So many foods add sourness that makes the food bright. You
want to go for just mash our faces into it? I'm so inelegant.
That's how I do it, yeah.
Okay, okay. Miguel, this is so dangerous. Now you've introduced me to tahini. I feel like I'm going to have to carry it in my pocket now.
Yeah, well, they make them in small sizes for that reason, actually. What do you think?
Also, it's great. And also, everyone appreciate how Miguel cut up his mango. It just cut up in such a beautiful way.
Like my triangle pattern. All right. Yeah, let's put some of this on. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I do like it like that.
It's so small. So small.
Can you pop it inside out?
Oh my god.
Wow. That's the smallest mango I've ever seen. Oh my god. So this is something else we found there. If I remember correctly, some people call these Japanese peanuts. And they're covered in sugar. So you can see it has a really thick layer of sugar on there. Definitely not something I'd want to snack on every day, but kind of has like crunchy, just not super sweet either. Hi everyone, my name is Miguel, and I hope that you enjoyed the grocery haul video and that you can see some of the great ingredients that are used in Mexican food. There's really so much more to Mexican food than just tacos. And I am a volunteer with Plant Chompers. I'm helping out with an upcoming video that is about a health program that's based out of California that is really changing lives of the people that participate in it. I'm really passionate about this, so I hope that you can watch the video when it comes out. Make sure to subscribe and to turn on all your notifications so you can see that video when it comes out, and I hope to see you there.